Battlefield. This is the area where the Indians took on Custer and defeated him soundly and killed them all. Quite a battlefield about 130 years ago. There's the crow's nest way out, where the cavalry first saw the large Indian encampment of the Cheyennes and Crows. You could see 14 miles from that view. There's a bunch of horses crossing the road right in front of us.
Paint taking
long day.
He's either old or
a little lame. Yeah, a little lame.
The markers are right where the soldiers died, right where they fell. Get a view of the pretty scenery, these great Bighorn Mountains. On the far hill is the National Cemetery. We'll be visiting there in just a few moments. The grave marker of Lieutenant Colonel Custer. Custer's last stand was right here. From the small cemetery where Custer is buried is the larger memorial cemetery in the background. And off in the fields we will see individual grave markers.
too many shadows. Yeah. This is the memorial to the Indians. I found some human remains too.
Mm-hmm. Overlook area. Snow-capped mountains in the distance. Gorgeous scenery. One last mountain. The Nez Perce War. Good place here. Here's some of the roads we came up, probably about 2,000 feet below us. There's Frank and Elaine
Frank's
in the
hair is
foreground.
blowing.
Take another view of these mountain peaks. Here's Marty and Elaine with that beautiful background.
Should be filming Frank trying.
Pretty little creek.
Can you hear the rapids?
Yeah.
This is
Go way up there and pick
Clark's
it.
Fork. Oh, what a pretty scene.
Clark's Fork.
Uh-huh. That's nice.
The rapids that we hear must still.
Hell, throwing snowballs at us. Good shot, Elaine. I think they're going to try to make a snowman. They are making a snowman. Look at that. Hey, cute little fella. Again, we'll see some wonderful scenery. We're on Beartooth Pass, halfway between Red Lodge and Cook, Wyoming. Beartooth Pass was closed already this year. It is now reopened for the snow, from the snow. I think we
it's
found our first little animal here. It's a groundhog in there. Yeah, stand up for us.
Prairie dog?
Good deal.
Well, if that's a prairie
Looked
dog,
like a prairie dog.
It would be up here. It's lost if it is.
it's a pretty healthy one.
In front of us.
And here we are in Yellowstone, entering in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and look what we found.
Are you zooming in?
I did a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
There's another one down there.
There's 4 of them, 5 of them,
Oh yeah.
6, 7 of them. Get out the window. Can I do anything?
Oh, look at
I
that.
can't pull off.
No, that's okay. We're
Oops. He just goes stand there and look at us.
Take a dump for us or something.
Oh Mel, you're on tape.
Oh, that's right.
fine. That'll be a little editing done there.
And another shot of these bison coming across the road right in front of us.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's another herd of buffalo. Just meandering around, laying around in the afternoon. Whole bunch of them.
Oh wow.
Here's a lone petrified tree standing in Yellowstone. Beautiful contrast to the blue sky and the white cloud behind it and the evergreen on the left. To a lake in Yellowstone. Everybody's kind of taking it easy. There's Suzanne, our guide. Having a great hike this morning. And this is Trout Lake that we just hiked to. Gorgeous scenery. Never run out of pretty things to look at. This is wonderful. In Trout Lake, this is the dam made up of logs, a little bridge to walk across, and the water flows down into a creek. It goes down into the lower valley. The dam is made up of a bunch of old logs just piled here. Okay, here we are. Frank's taking a picture of me.
No, he's...
Yes, he is. Our Jeep we rented. And we'll look around and see some of the aspens are turning colors. Beautiful fall day, about 70 degrees. Up high on the hillside or the bluff here is our guide, Suzanne. And she's out there with her binoculars trying to see if she can find some wolves. And second choice would be bears. We saw some earlier this morning. Yeah, they're enjoying a picnic lunch. They're in Yellowstone. Gorgeous 75-degree day, sunny, having a wonderful time. We've taken a hike up this cliff-like rock formation, and we see the Yellowstone River. Very pretty sight. Off with their antlers, doing damage to the bark and eventually killing the tree. Along the Yellowstone River, we see our first sighting of steam. Another view of the Yellowstone River.
There gotta be some fish in there, doesn't there?
The skeleton of an old elk. Look at that.
What is it?
It's an
Suzanne.
elk.
Yeah, not much left to that one.
One old rib.
The remains of an old elk.
Okay, let go.
Is it moving?
It's moving. Quick, quick.
This is Hanging Valley Waterfall. Today we start to see some of the springs, and these are I believe, the sulfur flat springs that are steaming. There's a lot of boiling water below us, seeping up in steam right now on this flat.
Gotta get downwind from this.
No, a lot of sulfur. And look at the crust. Underneath there is water that is hotter than all blazes. This looks like an Uzi to me. The steam is just oozing out of the ground. We're on a boardwalk. Mammoth Hot Springs Terrace. There's the hotel that we stayed, run by the Yellowstone Park. Pretty good accommodations. And we're up here on this terrace of steaming rock. That's where we were a few moments ago. Out in a meadow, and we're looking for moose. And there are the moose hunters. Yeah, there it is, with the antlers. This is known as Roaring Mountain. Steam coming out of the crevices of the rock. A lot of steam pots. That's something. And 15 years ago, but the forest is coming back with a lot of new growth. Okay, give you an idea of what we're dealing with. A lot of steaming. We'd call this one a steam bath. There's a
that might be one of the things.
true bubbler. We stuck our finger in the water back there, and it's probably around 120 to 130 degrees. Hot stuff.
Oh. Who stuck it?
There's some artist spots. It's
Not
bubbling away. There's
Coming out of there.
just coming out of there an inch or two.
No. There's little pieces.
Oh, I think that just fell in there. It's bubbling around.
Floating. The one down there looks more colorful, like an artist pot might be.
Yeah.
Very little bubbler there. Now here's a small geyser that has gotten bigger since we got here.
Oops, in the top.
Yeah, it just turned down.
Interesting.
This is going quite well.
She shut down.
Yeah, I see that.
That's painted pretty good there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what did it say that was? That was.
This is from on top of the geyser field. A lot of contrasting color, as Elaine says. Look at this little trickling creek.
What is that that looks like? Oh.
It's a true mud pot. I think the camera will pick up the noise of the bubbling down there, like a steam pot boiling over.
Yeah, there's some here.
By one of the first ones, and my husband says that little boy's been in there.
Yeah. Well, they.
These are the Gibbon River Falls in Yellowstone. And then after the falls is the Gibbon River running out. Geyser we're looking at. Don't think we're going to see it go off, but we do see water bubbling in there.
That's what said was the guy came
We are at Old Faithful Geyser, waiting for something to happen.
So what's that over there?
Tim,
Goes Old Faithful.
is this when we applaud?
Yay!
Oh, hey.
Neato.
Big plume, look at that.
Combination
Yeah.
of steam and water.
Now that's what you call letting off steam. Chinese geyser. It's bubbling away. And another boiling pot.
Wow.
That's a little hot.
Old Faithful Inn. Our home for the next 2 nights. Here's Old Faithful going again. Another view.
Could have been a wolf.
Old Faithful goes off every hour and a half.
It looked like dog.
And right down the way from here is our
I think he's spoofing me.
Old Faithful Lodge, just a couple of 100 yards away. View of the many geysers that we see. There are geysers all over the place. There's Old Faithful just kind of cooling down right now.
Make me fly away.
See if we can pick up this sound. Almost sounds like underground thunder. Some animal tracks and some very nice color. Gold color. Old Faithful, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going off every 92 minutes on the average right now, spewing out 8,000 gallons of water.
No. I am sure.
I think it's been there for about 450 years. Arsenic, cyanide, lead, mercury, fluoride, and the elk that live in this part of the park have a shorter lifespan because they're pulling plants out of the rivers from underwater in the wintertime, and they've taken a lot of fluoride besides the other things, and it makes their teeth not form a hard enamel and not they wear out a lot of timing. So it's still going. So it's going to be one of those 4.5. Let's see, it's been 4.5 minutes right now. Look at the water.
Now the
coming down
water's
here.
really running.
Oh, yes.
You see
Look at a waterfall coming down through.
Girls in that water.
Here?
Bacteria.
Oh, that's what I was reading about, the bacteria.
That lives in really hot water. And I'm hoping when you get home, if anybody asks you after today, ask you what you saw in Yellowstone, I'm going to hope you said it's just bacteria that photosynthesizes that we can see the colors of.
That guy is pretty neat.
I always think of him as feminine, but I've been yelled at about.
It only goes off every 3 or 4 days, and we are happening to hit it right today. See the water overflowing the edges. Good one. Of what we think is a
Buffalo.
old buffalo. Look at the teeth in there. Out back country today, taking a nice hike. This is really off the beaten path. There's Frank and our
Boy,
guide.
that's- just the jawbone is heavy.
Here's
This is coming from California, off the coast. So it's pretty,
now she found the other
Yeah, I
jawbone.
think so.
We came onto a bison here.
Do you walk funny,
Huh?
sir?
Yeah. Old
I feel good.
half antler.
You know, talking to the researchers, they do heart monitor studies on elk, bull elk, and when they lose their antlers, their
Means of an old bull elk right here.
That's one of them, huh? Or is it you say you got a main one, the top one, or not?
Let's see, these look like, here's the way they fit, each vertebrae, you know, and then
Boiling at 167.
Here's one that's boiling. And our guide tells us it's a minimum of 167 degrees because of the bacteria color that's around the pool. Very hot.
mixing with, did you stop and see any mud pots yesterday, like fountain paint pots? Or
Yes.
you know, these are bubbles of hydrogen sulfide. And these depend on rainwater. They can dry up. A lot of times they'll be, like the last 5 years, we've had so much drought that a lot of these just dry up. Yellow flowers, little tiny yellow flowers. And there's snow everywhere, and here's these yellow flowers in the thermal areas. Look at the neat little
Look at it
scallops
boiling.
here.
Look at the bacteria shelves here.
You know, up to the first joint of any
It's a
ungulate,
big
there's hardly any nerves.
hot pond, and this is the different types of bacteria that has floated off, flaked off.
Sure looks like it's
Ooh, sure. Ooh, ugly. Not a pretty sight.
Now that's got to be a good 10 feet. That
There's a hot pool that is boiling.
Mine is cyanided green. You might have seen it at Norris. It's a bright green.
So
it's
hot.
like Irish green.
we didn't stop it.
Next to steam coming out.
The paper said
Home hot pool.
Around 150. And it eats cyanide.
The Yellowstone River, the lower falls. That rainbow.
there you go.
Yep. Boy, these are some falls.
You say the Yellowstone must be the road's got the rainbow down there?
I did get it. This is the longest undammed river in the lower 48. Yellowstone River. Headed down towards the falls. Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. The upper falls. Canyon of Yellowstone. This is 27 miles long. We're at the start of it.
Is that
Over there, I think.
About 2 years ago.
The Grand Canyon of Yellowstone.
Another 5 minutes.
Range of mountains.
Oh, he was right there, wasn't he?
Snow covered and
Like mud. Look at that bull, how much bigger he is than the cows.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the big boy right here.
right here.
Here. Uh-oh, this
Lake Yellowstone. Beautiful mountain range in the background. There's an island out there. Just a nice area. Here's the lodge right on Lake Yellowstone. Old Faithful about to erupt.
Well, depends how much you want to do with Tetons, though. That's where we were down there.
And there she goes.
That's a strong one this morning.
Yeah, quite strong this morning.
Maybe it'll last for 4.5 minutes.
The end of this eruption. A lot of steam on the third.
Okay, here we are on our drive out of Yellowstone, heading to the Grand Tetons. I suppose our elevation here is about
8,500.
Okay, good. Thanks, Mel. A lot of snow cover here, and it's beautiful.
Falls by Lewis Lake. On our way from Yellowstone down to the Grand Tetons. Very pretty. The river that flows out from Lewis Falls down towards the Snake River. Exploring this river down from Lewis Falls.
It's going to take a picture, but we need to, so.
Trees, remnants of the fire of 1988. Our first sighting of a moose.
It's a cow and a calvie.
This is good video with them walking.
Yeah, I have it right now on video.
First one I've ever seen. Me too. Well, I've seen them at a distance. In Canada.
Here we are in the Tetons. Come on to Mama Moose and her young calf. And we'll look around at the skyline. Gorgeous scenery. The moose. And the gorgeous background. Jackson Lake and the Tetons in the background.
Wonder how they get down there on
I
the
don't
beach to
know.
walk.
Yeah.
It's not really a beach, but.
Had some snowfall already this year. Very nice, pretty. Jenny Lake and the Tetons. Jenny Lake and the Tetons. Lake. Nice little 9/10 of a mile uphill hike. Only took us about 45 minutes.
Nice and little. Was I hiking with you?
Yes, you were.
We are looking for the
The hikers are all taking a break.
end of the lake, just to the left.
Oh.
A much needed rest up here
Yeah.
alongside the trail. Pretty little bird. Pretty big bird. I'd like to see the front of you, not the back.
Yeah, and the male is so much.
Yeah, I beeped on you.
Oh, her plume was.
We took up to Phelps Lake, and along the trail are all these fallen logs. Beautiful sight. They claim that it takes 100 years for these to decay and disintegrate. There's along the trail.
That lady told me I look like an aspen tree.
A yellow aspen tree, huh? And along the path is a little wooden bridge and a nice creek. Just kind of bubbling its way down through the woods. Gorgeous scenery. On our way back from our hike, we've come onto a big black bear up in a tree eating leaves, foliage. Ready for a float trip. River today.
Okay.
Are
we ready?
Yep. We're floating.
No, you don't have to go to the next manager's meeting.
Approaching our first rapids.
That's what you can follow. In the bend here. Once we make this bend, if we didn't have this low cloud cover, we should have been able to see the Teton.
There's a bald eagle.
Can't turn.
Yeah, I'll get to use them a lot. Maybe when I clean out the freezer.
That island. There's an eagle in the tree. And a nice hike this morning through the woods. Here's all the aspen, and in the background the mountains. Tetons. Get a good view of the mountains in the background.
Before the busy summer, but now that things will be slowing down here soon.
That'd be a good winter.
A little bit cloudy and overcast.
Ambrose, it's like 2-3 old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at somebody did here. Spot for panoramic yet.
Very pretty rainbow out there between the mountains.
What's burning over there?
The end of the Teton Range and the beginning of the Snake River Range.
Yeah.
What's burning over
Yep, they're probably,
Get the end of it.
I think that's a natural fire.
More of the rainbow. The valley. With the white-capped mountains in the background, and we have some sunshine on them right now. So they ought to show up much better. In an aspen forest this morning, taking a hike.
But only 20% of the time do those cones ever really open up and disperse seeds without fire.
Gold color of the aspens. Very nice. Seeing the white-capped mountains in the background. And we'll look at all the aspen down here. Excellent fall color. Stream. Hopefully we can pick up the sound of the water.